Hello viewers, welcome to my Doctor Who themed YouTube channel, Who Ventures. And in this video I'm reviewing Doctor Who Series 12 Episode 3, Orphan 55. And this is written by Ed Heim, who did my favourite episode of Series 11, It Takes You Away. So here's back with Orphan 55. So we go straight into the titles. I think you can guess from my head who one of my favourite characters is in this episode. Oh, I didn't know. It has got paws on the end of this, but I need my hands. So we go into the TARDIS, and it's quite amusing because they're mopping up. There's a big giant tentacle from a giant squid in the TARDIS on the floor, and they're mopping up, and technically they're mopping up alien splooge, because the Doctor says, I'm so sorry, I didn't know it was mating season. And so it's like, oh my gosh, because we were all joking about this before the episode, and I was saying, Pip Madeley was like joking about it. I said, are you implying it's a Saigon Willie? And and it was funny, and it was. And it's like, it made me think, like, because the Doctor has got a thing for Saigons and tentacles and suckers, so I thought, oh. So, and then Graham's all excited because he's collected these space coupons and the Tranquility Spa. So he's like, I've got the last coupon, and he starts putting them all together into a box, and it's like a Tesseract, looks like Tesseract from the Marvel Universe. And then the Doctor says, no, don't put it together yet. It's not just a coupon, it's a tally part, but he's already put it together. So he's like, oh no. It's like, oh, I'm trying to do Graham. I know, I haven't really got my speedos. It's alright, we got them on. Woo! It's really funny, I know. Then the hyphen, who is my hat's teddy bear looking woman. Now, I wasn't sure whether she was meant to be a new species that we see, or whether she's the children's entertainer, like the mascot, like Mickey Mouse is for Disney World. She's like hyphen holidays or something, or whether she's a species, but she looks so cute, and the Doctor thought she looked really cute too and really liked her tail, and I thought she's so cute. And turns out they got coupons for 2 weeks, all inclusive. And so they all split off to go look round. And Graham's on his deck chair and he's getting his cocktails. And the Doctor's having a look round. And then we see the security, these two security people, and they say, physical breach, no. And then this holiday-making couple, Velma and Benny, they sat by the pool, and it's like, 46 years together, eh, Velma? And he's going to propose, but then Yaz appears and says, wow, it's nice, ain't it? Or something of a similar sort, and she interrupts the proposal. Then Ryan's going round the lobby and says, free stuff at the vending machine. And then he gets a spark through his hand, and it's a hopper virus. So the Doctor tells her, here, suck your thumb, I have to twist your ear. And then she makes him sneeze and catches this space wormy thing in a crisp bag. And then she says, right, you're going to start having hallucinations, all you have to do is suck your thumb. And so he goes to sit down to suck his thumb, and then there's a muster station drill call over the tannoy, and the doctor's investigating. Then Ryan's sucking his thumb, and he realises there was a very pretty girl sat next to him sucking her thumb, so they both had a dose of the virus, and he starts chatting her up and trying to impress her. and he says he's a surgeon for pilots. He's like trying to, and she says she's a hotel critic, and they're flirting, getting on together. But then this staff security person runs past with a gun, and they're like, "Oh, do you want to see what's going on?" And they go off to see what's going on. And the doctor's chatting to Orphan, and doctor's asking about why is there such tight security, and the doctor's saying, "I love your tail." She just loves her tail. I love that. And the doctor finds through this door, which is the laundry cupboard, but not really. There's like she finds the screens and a security woman, and it turns out the ionic membrane which is protecting the resort has failed. And then this worm is sent out to patrol the corridors, and this big monster gets the guest. And then there's a teleport evacuation, and the hopper virus, but the hopper viruses broke everything, so the stuff's not working. And then there's these big tooth monsters coming, and Ryan and Bella are looking round, and they see this big tooth monster coming, and then Graham's with these two guys, well, with Nevi, who's the dad, and Silas is the son, and they come from a planet where you have green hair, and Nevi's trying to be a mechanic, but Silas is a better mechanic than his dad. But guests is this thing where guests keep going offline, and the doctor says this says a big warning over the tunnel. He says this is not a drill, and they head to the linen cupboard. It says don't enter the steam room, but Ryan and Bella have already gone in, and they tell each other the truth about themselves, and then Kane is like whinging about her. She's like, "Oh, what do you know? You can't build anything." And the doctor says, "I could build you with a pack of cranes and half a can of spam." And then then I thought for a minute that Vilma had been eaten, but she was okay. And then there's this really cool sunglasses guy in the steam room, and he's eaten by the monster. And this sunglasses guy, he reminds me, I don't know, of maybe a character in an Alan Moore comic, like League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. It reminds me of somebody from a comic. I don't know, I can't quite place it, but he so does. Then the doctor is fixing the membrane, and Graham's like, "Where's Ryan? Where's Ryan?" And they can't see Ryan or Benny on the screens. So Graham runs to find Ryan, and he finds him like, "Oh, I goes for that." And then the doctor and Kane and Ryan and Graham are investigating. Then Graham does the best thing ever, one of my favourite things ever on television. He walks right into an invisible wall, and he breaks the fourth wall. He knocks out a TV screen, and I love that. It's my favourite things ever. Thinking TV shows where they pretend they're in your television. I love that. I watch a whole episode of them just being inside the TV and just wiping your tally for you, and dogs licking the tally, and people walking into the tally. I'd watch a whole series of that. That'd be amazing. And then it turns out it's a fakecation. It's a dome. It's a bit like Centre Park swimming pool, and it's inside an alien environment. But they've lost Benny. But he's on the outside of this dome. But Vilma says he has got an oxygen tank, so it'll be alright for a bit. But we've got to find Benny. Then there's Kane does this big speech about what they're going to do. They're going to go out in the car, and they've got these oxygen things on, and these sensors tell them how much oxygen they got. It's like, get in the car right here. And then Graham goes to ask Nevy to see if his oxygen sensor's working alright. Says, Nevy cockle, is this working alright? And Nevy says, oh, it's fine. But Sarah says, no, I'll fix it for you. And this planet is Orphan 55. It's an orphan planet, desolate and too toxic for life. And the doctor's absolutely disgusted and horrified that they put an holiday resort on an orphan planet. And she talks about it's uninhabitable, and the ruling elite get to evacuate, but they screw everything else up, and nothing's meant to survive, but apparently the dregs survived. And Kane's idea for their spa is so they can have justification and money to start terraforming the planet. And then they're in this car looking for Benny, and they find out from the sensor they're moving at 37. I forgot what the unit of measurement was. 37 something an hour clicks or something, and it's like, oh, that means that the creatures must have got him. So, and then Kane said, no, we'll stop searching now, never mind, they've got him. And the doctors just like say, no, we keep searching for Benny. And then Kane won't give the info about what's happening, and doctor's getting right pissed off with it. So the doctor deduces that the dregs are the apex predators. They've adapted to the harsh conditions. And then in the car, Ryan's having a chat with Bala, and Bala explains she was her dad's carer, and yes, so what are you talking about, right? And the doctor's interested in the conversation, and then the vehicle crashes and it's compromised. Mist covers the sun, it clears, and if the mist clears they'll get solar blistering, but they've all got to get out of the vehicle, but there's a tunnel to get back into the dome area. And then Vilma's going, Betty! And yes, he's like, shut up! And the monsters come surrounding them, so they have to run back to the truck, and they're trying to open the truck, and Kane and Vorm have to deal with the dregs. And Benny is through an intercom, he's talking to Vilma, and he says, will you marry me? And she goes, yes! Benny, yes! And then says, and then will you shoot me? It's like, oh, Benny! And then the truck's being opened by the creatures, and Kane and Vorm are all on defence. But then Hyphen, Teddy Bear Lady, she gets eaten by the monsters who pull her from the truck underneath and eat her. Then Dregs, they got warmed over security, and Kane is injured. You know, to the tunnels. And Silas says, Dad, oxygen checks. And Vilma says, did you see Benny? And Kane says, yeah, killed him. And Vilma's like, how could you? And Nat says, how could you? And Bella grabs a gun and points it to Kane, and we find out that Kane is Bella's mother, and she called her Trixie Bell. And she's like, why'd you call me Trixie Bell? And then Kane is her mother, but she don't even recognise her own daughter. And then Ryan's in the teleports with Bella into the spa, and Bella's mega angry, and she's determined to destroy the spa. And there's some others in the tunnel, and there's loads of dregs about, and Kane was going to give Bella the spa. She was like, I was going to give this to you after, but Bella has put explosive devices in the spa suit, so it blows it up and ruins everything. And then there's others walking through the tunnels, and then a big moment, the doctor, Riaz and Graham, they find this sign in Russian, and turns out they're on Earth, and this is what happened to Earth because we didn't do out about global warming. And it's like, and Vilma's telling him all to run, just go, just be fine, yeah, and still be fine, Benny! And she's all this, and then Ryan's trying to stop Bella from destroying stuff, but she's already kind of destroyed it. And Yaz is like, but how can this be Earth? And they have to find breathable air, so they find the stairs, the doctor's canisters on red, and they find the dreg sleeping, so the doctor inhales from the dregs, that realises they're sort of like really angry trees. And she scans the dreg's brain, she finds out about horrible stuff that happened on Earth. So we go back to the spa, and the dregs are, she explains the dregs are mutated humans, and they're roaring and stuff, and then the auto locks like don't work. Bella finds out Kane didn't come back. Nevi keeps like not listening to Silas, who's got the better ideas, and Silas drops off, and then it's like the doctor and Nevi's like, can you use a hopper virus to make the formula? And says, yeah, but I can only make Cerulean 3, I need something else for Cerulean 4. And Yaz and Ryan are using sun loungers to barricade the dregs out. And then Yaz finds this oxygen canister and she uses it against the dreg. The doctor's distracting the dreg, and Bella tells Silas to run, and Silas goes back to his dad, and he does the mechanics for Cerulean 4. The doctor's listening to isolating the dreg leader so it stays in the cage, and then she talks about the people didn't change, so lost everything, and she's trying to put the dreg in the cage. She succeeds, and they run out of the door, and Ryan and Yaz explode some of the dregs, and then Bella kisses Ryan, and she does the thumb-sucking gesture, which I thought was sweet. I really liked their relationship in this. It was very sweet. And Nevi and Silas teleport back home, and Kane appears, and she's there to save Bella and shoot the dregs, but their fam have to teleport back to the TARDIS, and Ryan's upset and everyone's upset, but the doctor can't reassure them, and she's trying to say Earth can be saved if you're the best of humanity. So that was the episode Orphan 55. Make sure to go and look at my art files video for my portraits of the characters. That was a very fast-paced episode. I thought it was a bit too fast-paced, and it would have been better if we could have got to know some of the characters a bit more, and also if the lighting, and if they'd put like a filter on the computer edit to make the spa seem a bit warmer, because it looked extremely chilly and cold and not much like a spa at all really, because Graham, we didn't even get to see speedos because it was too cold. He kept his jumper on. So yeah, so I hope you have enjoyed this review, and thank you for watching. Yay!